Hello everyone, welcome to Poetry Changes Lives. This book, here we are, Poetry History, a Thought for the Day. Every day of the year I sit and read it out. and I enjoy reading a little bit of poetry every day. It makes me feel cheerful. There's such a power in poetry, I find, to change one's mood for the better. And I recommend it to anyone. If you get a copy of this book, which you can do at the website poetrychangeslives.com, you can buy it there, or you can buy it direct from Amazon, or you can go into a bookshop and ask them for it. It makes a very nice present to give people, and I think most of them find it a nice thing to have. They, like me, find that reading a little bit of poetry and a thought for the day and a little bit of information does them a bit of good each day. Anyway, that's my sales pitch for the day. On this day, in 1941, a very great American poet, Billy Collins, who is still with us, I may say, and has been America's Poet Laureate. He's also sometimes called America's favorite poet, and I can quite understand why, because I think his writings are tremendous. The one I particularly remember is his poem called simply The Names, which was to commemorate all those died in the 9/11 disaster quite a few years now ago. But a very somber poem in many ways. On the other hand, Billy Collins often brings wonderful humour to his poetry, and over the centuries, humour is not something that is very readily found in a lot of great poetry. It's a shame, really, but I love the poets that bring humour, like Lewis Carroll. There have been one or two, Edward Lear, of course, Rudyard Kipling even, but Billy Collins does it excellently. I was reading the other day his poem it's titled, I Chopped Some Parsley While Listening to Art Blakey's version of Three Blind Mice on the Radio. And it's a beautiful, light-hearted poem about chopping parsley and thinking about what a brutal nursery rhyme it is about attacking three blind, innocent mice and chopping their tails off. It is, he's right there, she's got a point. Anyway, Billy Collins is great with humour, great with poetry of all kinds. He was lucky as a child to have a mother who was a great poetry lover and memorised great tracts of poetry, and she passed on this love to her son, and boy, he has really done her proud. Well, today I'm going to read a poem that I think Billy Collins probably would know. It's by Katherine Mansfield, and it's to do with childhood, and it has a very delightful, light-hearted air to it. Katherine Mansfield wrote in the early part of the 20th century, really before Billy Collins, but she came to England from Australia, I think, or New Zealand, and she had a rather troubled life in terms of relationships and things, but she did write some very, very good poetry and other books as well. This one I particularly like is about her childhood, called Butterfly Laughter. I think it sets a beautiful scene. Here we are. In the middle of our porridge plates, there was a blue butterfly painted, and each morning we tried who should reach the butterfly first. Then the grandmother said, "Do not eat the poor butterfly." It made us laugh. Always she said it, and always it started us laughing. It seemed such a sweet little joke. I was certain that one morning the butterfly would fly out of our plates and, laughing a teeniest laugh in the world, would settle on the grandmother's lap. I think that's such a sweet poem. I think any child or any person today with happy childhood memories would relate to that poem about the blue butterfly on a plate. I certainly do. I've actually got a plate, a bowl, that has got a blue butterfly painted on it. Here we are. You can see the two blue butterflies there. And I sometimes have my porridge out of this bowl, and I think of Katherine Mansfield, and I think of her beautiful poem. Isn't poetry fun sometimes? Today I ask for no more than to be able to savor life's delicious moments with gratitude. And today I do that, certainly. Thanks for listening.